it, you may have answered a little bit in this next question. And so I don't know if you want to elaborate. How will the way we do business change?
Yeah, that's a little bit different. Um, so, so what they're showing me is some of that has already changed now with a lot of the virtual world and us becoming very isolated. Um, Therapy, oh, this is another field. Therapy is going to just boom. So these two kind of questions sort of overlap, right? And you'll see that. Um, I guess maybe I'm admitting I like to watch a lot of TV, but I do see commercials for therapy, and excuse me, and take a sip here. And people who struggled with this shutdown and isolation are going to experience just as much anxiety or trouble with re-entry. Um, so go ahead and get a little bit of help with that if that's something that feels like a big struggle. And again, it's out there. So therapy is booming. I'm sorry, read me that question one more time. How is something about the way we do business?
How will the way we do business change?
Okay, so we did talk about that a little bit in the last question. And so there is some overlap. Again, moving into the virtual communication is here to stay.
Mhm.
And if you can imagine it, it will happen. That's just one aspect. Of course, we're going to go back into the world of that is non-virtual or real interaction. That will come. We're going to see a pickup of that much later in the year. And really more fully re-entry at the beginning of next year. So a lot of that will come back, but we think a lot of it will stay like this.
Mhm.
It may even be as much as 50-50. And we're going to see a lot more of this happening on an international scale. In other words, how you used to be able to do business just sort of locally, and we've seen that increase over time. It's going to even expand more into global, uh, being able to do business globally, where
Mhm.
we just really never thought of that before. Things that we didn't think that we could do in that way. So what's interesting is that they just showed me that the Earth in that way is going to shrink. Um, Obviously not in reality, but just figuratively. Um, but the way we do business will shrink so that we can have a bigger reach. If there's anything more about it's kind of a lot of new integration of the old and the new. Do you know, they showed me something really interesting, and this kind of doesn't. I don't know how this relates, but here's what I got. And sometimes I get mixtures of words and visuals and feelings, and that at some point we were going to reach a sort of peak as we are in humanity. Not anytime in the near future. You don't have to worry about your life or even your children's, but at some point over, we'll say the next 1,000 years, maybe, that humanity may end up starting over again. I don't know really what that means. It's a little freaky to me. Okay. Um, Not that we're all going to die off, but it's almost like pushing a reset button. And it's a way of allowing individuals to reach a pinnacle and then start over again. Really interesting. I don't know, maybe they'll give me more about that later. But don't worry about it for a good long time. It's not going to happen in many generations. And we think it's just really about, humans ending up kind of self-sabotaging themselves, and
Mm,
kind of sucks really, but that's the way humans are.
wow, that's kind
Well,
of exciting.
it is interesting, and sounds a little depressing, but we want to say there's always hope. These things come in, what they're showing me are steps, levels, right? We'll have this brilliant increase in evolution, and then we kind of can't deal with it, or power takes over, and then we have to kind of reset that and go back to a simpler way of life. That's really what we mean by that.
Well, and like you said, it's a shift, and I think we're already kind of feeling that, experiencing that,
We
which
are.